Welcome everybody to another edition of the Hurry Up. For the Giants fans, it's Victory Monday. Take it in. 2 weeks. 2 weeks to enjoy the victory and hopefully correct some problems. So let's get into this. I know people are like, "Oh, it's a win. Let's celebrate it." Yep. Well, if we celebrate a win and we criticize a loss and we take out from losses the positives, we've got to take out some of the negatives from the win. Doesn't mean anything bad. It just means things that need to be corrected. First and foremost, let's do the good. The good is the defense has been playing out of its mind for three weeks. This is the defense we expected, we hoped to have gotten in the first weeks of the season. Now, had we gotten that in the first weeks of the season, maybe the season is a little different. One more win, and maybe we're definitely in the wild card hunt. Because right now, mathematically, the Giants are in the wild card hunt. Believe it or not, 3-6. Thank you, seventh wild card spot, for allowing the Giants to be in the wild card hunt. So we'll see what happens down the stretch for the Giants, but the defense has turned it around. I don't know what Patrick Graham said, but I think they took a lot of pride in what they do, and they realized that they weren't playing to their abilities. And I guess when you look at it, let's give credit to Patrick Graham. He's made adjustments in season, which is tough to do, but you're a coach, you get paid to do it. And they're playing sound football. Yes, they give up some plays here and there, but all defenses do. This is the NFL, right? The Giants gave up 400 yards of total offense, which, if they weren't as efficient as they were in the red zone, this is a different story. The Raiders were 1-6 in the red zone efficiency, which is absolutely phenomenal efficiency when it comes to defense. And the Giants were high last year in that category. So for them to put it together, this is great. Now, I'd like to focus on Xavier McKinney and how he's starting to come into his own. This guy was drafted in the second round in 2020, injured his foot and didn't really get into the game until the latter half of the season, roughly about 6 or 7 games to go. And then he kind of was getting his feet wet. In the beginning of the year, a lot of people were wondering, hey, is this the right guy for the job? Well, guess what? He's the right guy for the job. And I think because he was splitting reps with Jabril Peppers, we didn't get to see him in his full capacity. Well, guess what? Now he's the guy. He's the guy. I love Jabril Peppers. I like his attitude, but, he's not coming back to be the starter. He can come back and be a money backer if that's the role that decide for him. But Xavier McKinney has done more in this season interception-wise than Jabril Peppers has done in his previous couple seasons. Jabril Peppers has 2, maybe 3 interceptions in his 3 years here. That's how many Xavier McKinney has in this season, okay? That's a difference maker. That's what you are expecting to get, right? James Bradbury is averaging 3 interceptions a season. He's on there too. Now we just need to get Adoree Jackson a couple picks. I mean, he's in position, but he seems to miss a few. So let's hope, now that his game is rounding into form, that he can get a couple interceptions and change the dynamic. I'd love to see him on a pick 6. He's got that home run speed, so I'd love to see him take one back to the house. But the defense is playing outstanding. I don't need to see O'Shane Ximines or Zoe Carter anymore. I like Zoe Carter, but Azeez Ojulari and Quincy Roche, it's your jobs. These are your jobs. Go ahead, kids. Let's see what you got. Quincy Roche has done a phenomenal job in the amount of time that he was here. Now, mind you, he did come in during the season with waivers, which means the Giants acquired his rights from the Steelers. And they also knew about him because they went down to Miami's pro day. Obviously, they were scouting a few other people, but he was part of that pro day process, and they took notes on him. So for him, the Giants had some history about him, and guess what? Now he's producing. And when they talked to him in the media, they said, I'm just taking it every day, getting better every day. Well, guess what? It's showing up in the field. The guy had 30 sacks in his college career, which is kind of unheard of, and it went under the radar. Now, I know most of those sacks came with Temple, and he only had 4.5 with Miami, but that's still high production for a player. And we'll see. People like to evaluate players and base it on measurables and competition, but you can't measure a man's heart and you can't measure a man's determination. And a lot of that goes a long way when you're doing football. You know what I mean? Some people look at Chase Blackburn. Guy didn't have great talent, but man, he had a work ethic and heart, and he hustled and he got himself on the field. So a lot of those things, if you can overcome, The talent will eventually rise to the top as well, but having heart and determination also works. And it's good to see a player, thank you, Dave Gettleman, for bringing him here, starting to get some burn. And let's see if he can develop these next 8 games. It would be great to see. Azeez Ojulari, has been up and down, but, he's still on pace to get 9 to 10 sacks. So, obviously as he develops and gets better, and he'll have more pass rush moves. Right now, he's limited in what he can do because, when you practice your moves that work, and you spend the off season on what doesn't work. So right now, yes, he doesn't have a spin move or anything like that, but he's still learning. He's still incorporating some of these moves, and you'll see him get better as the season goes on. And Leonard Williams playing out of his mind. Tay Crowder, while, I like Tay Crowder a lot, still developing as a linebacker. He leaves a lot to be desired, and obviously there needs to be another linebacker brought in here in the offseason. But enough about the great performance by the defense. Let's get on that offense. My God. Watching the Giants offense is like watching paint dry. Now I know, nobody complaining about it. It's a win. I understand it's a win, but you can't win games against Tampa Bay, the Chargers, and even the Eagles game with putrid offense. Daniel Jones threw for 100 yards. That's, to me, unacceptable. Okay, now, did we win the game? Yes. Was he efficient? Yes. Was there time to throw the football? There was. Did the game plan kind of hinder his ability? Absolutely. Jason Garrett cannot be exonerated for anything that is being done. Okay? This is his offense. This is his baby. And Joe Judge needs to kick him in the ass a little bit and say, listen, we need to open this thing up if we're going to even chase for that wild card spot. So what I like to see going forward is if the running game is working where by the way, they rushed for over 150 yards. So good kudos to that offensive line for opening up holes for Elijah Penny. And let's give Rob Sale the credit that he deserves. The Giants went through two O-line coaches last year, and the O-line struggled. This year, it's not that they're struggling because they have bad coaching. They're struggling because their talent is not great. You know what I mean? Talent is the great indicator, right? They don't have really any Pro Bowlers on there. Andrew Thomas is injured, and yet this guy comes in and does exactly what Coach Judge preaches. He looks at their strengths and tries to mask their weaknesses. And guess what? 150 yards rushing in the NFL is pretty good. So with that being said, if you're going to rush the football, how about you be dynamic and not play to lose or play to hold a lead? Play to win a game. Okay? The Giants take away that pick six, only scored 16 points, and the Raiders are driving. And if in that time frame the Giants are tied 16-16, well, guess what? The Raiders are going away with a victory, possibly, because that the kicker didn't miss a field goal, but let's say the kicker makes that field goal in. Now it's 19-16, and the Giants, and we give up another stellar performance by the defense. However, the defense decided, you know what, we're going to win the game for the offense, and Xavier McKinney picked six the other way. This offense needs to become better. This team is close in a lot of games, and what's holding them back is play calling and execution. And I don't understand how in a game where you have your $80 million receiver, your first round pick is a skill position player, and you have no clue how to use either one of them. And that's terrible. And you're a coach. I don't know what's happening in the locker room, in the meeting rooms. I mean, there's got to be a disconnect somewhere. Why is Jason Garrett calling these plays as if as if he's got the Cowboys of the mid 2000s, where you can run those plays when you have a DeMarco Murray, when you have a Marion Barber, where your offense is built to do those type of things. But you don't have that, and even with Ezekiel Elliott, you don't have those things here. Your back in Barkley is not a power back. He's a power back in a scat back. He's a scat back in a power back's body. Okay, he is better as a receiver in the open field, and he's dynamic when he can see the holes open up in 5 different places. But what we need right now is more efficiency. It took you to week freaking 9 to throw a seam route to Evan Ingram. What kind of atrocity is that? Week 9. And finally, you're seeing him, if you watch a replay, when they throw the ball to Kyle Rudolph, he's running the seam again. It's like, it's about time. So these next 2 weeks, Jason Garrett, Joe Judge, you need to figure some stuff out, because you're not going to compete with Tampa Bay scoring 16 points. And don't expect the defense to score 7 every time. You know, they're gonna hold Tampa Bay. They're gonna give Tampa Bay a fight. It's gonna be a dogfight on Monday night, defensively. Will the offense come to play? Victory Monday, people. Enjoy it the next 2 weeks. It's almost like a vacation of football. You don't need to stress out until next Monday night, where the Giants will have plenty of time to evaluate themselves, correct some of the issues that are going wrong, maybe get some guys up to speed, like Ellerson Smith, Aaron Robinson. You know, bring some guys back, get Kadarius Toney more healthy, maybe bring Saquon Barkley back, get Golladay back, heck, even bring Shepard back. I mean, where is Darius Slayton? I mean, my God, where's that guy? He's on a milk box missing. But anyways, hope you enjoyed the show. Giants, stop making me snooze on offense. Defense, great job. Special teams, best offensive player we got is Graham Gano. This has been the Hurry Up. Enjoy Victory Monday. Enjoy your 2 weeks off of Giant football. And let's get it.